Consistency is one of the most important things when it comes to running success. Eliud Kipchoge, marathon world record holder and one of the greatest runners of all time, once said, "If you want to grow in a profession, consistency is the key." Obviously, consistency is vital for successful, fun, and meaningful running. But why is it so hard for so many runners and seemingly so easy for other runners? In my reflections, when I looked at runners that were able to run consistently over the long term, I realized that most, if not all of them, had three things in common. In this video, I'll share what those three things are so that you can understand them and start implementing them in your own running. Without having one, two, or all three of these things in place, I believe it is very hard to achieve running consistency over the long term. To illustrate these three things, I'm going to use something that I call the running consistency pyramid, and I'm going to share some concepts, ideas, and some practical tips to help you out. Firstly, and perhaps the most important thing, is to have a clear reason why. Why is it that you run in the first place? Is it to achieve a weight loss goal? Are you trying to get physically fit? Do you want to meet new people in your running adventures? Do you want to see new places? Or do you just want to run for the fun of it? Everyone needs a clear reason why to do things, to stay motivated and disciplined on the path to achieving our ambitions when things get tough. Now, you might think that having a reason why is all wishy-washy and a load of rubbish, but think about it. Everything that you've achieved that's been meaningful in your life up to this point, you most certainly had a clear reason why behind it. If you studied hard at school to get good grades, then your reason why was to get a good job and open up your opportunities in the future. If you've ever joined the gym and worked overtime to improve yourself, then your reason why was to improve your body and achieve a better state of physical fitness. Ask any runner that you deem to be running consistently or what the reason was for why they started running in the first place. I guarantee you they'll be able to quickly give you a main reason or a few reasons, and it's very easy to see that those that do run consistently have a clear motivating force pushing them to keep putting in those training runs over time. And one of the best things about having a clear reason why is that it can act like a North Star to keep you on the path, to keep you going when things get tough, and it will make sure that you don't fall off the wagon and stop putting in those training runs. Number two, and slap bang in the middle of the running consistency pyramid, is goals. These are something that we're all familiar with as runners. Goals are clear objectives that we set and achieve, and they're really good tangible milestones that communicate to our brains that we are on our way to achieving our why. Personally, I think setting running goals are a fantastic idea because they give you something tangible and clear to aim at. Without setting goals, it's like going to the airport and getting on a random plane. You'll end up somewhere, but probably not where you want. Running goals are highly personal and specific to you and your unique situation and set of circumstances at this time, and they can be split into two categories. Firstly, you've got running goals that are directly related to running. So these are things like achieving a personal best in a particular race distance, running a particular race distance for the very first time, or getting out of your comfort zone and trying a new type of race like an obstacle course race like Tough Mudder, for example. The second category of goals are those that are a byproduct of running. So these are things like losing a certain amount of weight, achieving a certain state of fitness, or making and maintaining some great friendships on your running journey. If you haven't got any running goals at the moment, I'd highly recommend taking a moment to set 2 to 5, give yourself a rough time frame, a year for example, and see how you get on. You can always change and amend them as time goes on so that they're more relevant to your situation. If possible, make your goals measurable so you can definitively say whether or not you've achieved them by a certain time frame. And thirdly, the nuts and bolts, the foundation of the running consistency pyramid is a system. A running system refers to all the practical things that you've set up to enable you to run easily and more smoothly over time so that you're able to achieve consistency. In terms of what makes a good running system, let's touch on a few of them. Firstly, we have habits. These are all the behaviors and actions that you take on a consistent basis over time, and they're often done automatically without you thinking about them. When it comes to good running habits, the main aim is to reduce any friction and difficulty with getting those runs in, day out, over time. And some good running habits to have are going to bed and waking up at the same time each day with roughly 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Choosing and setting out your running clothes the night before so they're ready to go and you don't have to think about it. Not procrastinating and putting off your run by checking social media or watching the latest TV show on Netflix. And meal prepping your post-run meals for the week in advance so that you don't have to worry about the hassle and all the time associated with cooking your post-run nutrition. It's the little things before and after a run that if we don't see them as fun and easy to do, then they can really start to get annoying and frustrating over time. We're much less likely to feel motivated and to feel happy about getting our shoes on and getting out the front door. So I'd highly encourage you to look at your running habits and think about where they could be tweaked to improve them. Secondly, in a good running system is planning, and this refers to having a rough roadmap of what your running is going to look like over the weeks, over the months, so that you're able to stay on course for achieving your goals and ultimately on course for achieving your why. You can use a ready-built running plan, you can make one yourself, or you can do what I do and take a more chilled approach by setting a rough weekly mileage goal and then building your weekly runs and workouts in to achieve that weekly mileage goal as you go. When planning your running, it's very important to pick a specific time that you know you're going to be able to run consistently and stick to it in your schedule. Without a clear time in mind for when you're going to run, it's very easy to get swept up in all the distractions and commitments that we tend to have in our daily lives. So make sure you pick a time and stick to it. Make sure you plan your runs in advance. A third component of a great running system is gear. This refers to having all the right clothing and equipment ready for whatever the world throws at us as we go through our training runs. This means having a range of things to handle different weathers, temperatures, terrains, and running workouts. So having a decent selection of running tops and bottoms, some sunscreen and a hat to make sure that you protect your skin, a decent pair of running shoes, and a waterproof coat. With gear, it's very easy to get carried away in having the latest running watch or the fanciest and newest shoes, but it's very important that you get the basic items that I've just mentioned right, because they will have the biggest impact in making sure that you're properly equipped for whatever the world throws at you when you're on your runs. And fourthly, nutrition. One of my friends always used to say, you can't outrun a bad diet, and that is absolutely true. If you don't have your nutrition optimized, then you'll find that it's very hard to run consistently day in, day out because you won't be properly fueled. A good tip that's helped me stay consistent with a decent diet throughout my running is thinking of my body as a machine, could be a car or a robot, and thinking that robots and cars need the best fuel to perform to the best of their ability. We as human beings are exactly the same when it comes to running. We need the right fuel at the right time to power us through training sessions, runs, adventures over the long term. If you're lost on what diet to follow, I know I certainly was when I started to take my nutrition a bit more seriously. I just followed a basic eat well, healthy living plate. You know, that one that we're all familiar with. This is a really good starting point, and then you can always amend it and tweak it to suit your particular nutrition goals. With nutrition, it's important to not be tyrannical with yourself and being obsessed with having every single meal clean, lean, unprocessed, and healthy. Everyone needs a cheat meal and even a cheat day every now and then. The most important thing is that your average of eating habits over time remains consistently clean and consistently healthy. Those were the three things that I deem absolutely essential for achieving running consistency over the long term. To summarize, we have defining a reason why, setting clear goals, and establishing and following a running system. If you're watching this and you struggle with consistency, then a useful exercise would be to copy out this pyramid and fill in the information for each of the three tiers relevant to your situation. It's a really good exercise, and it will get you thinking about why it is that you run, what you're trying to achieve, and how you're going to achieve these great things. And this is what I call the running consistency pyramid. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Craig. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.